Good evening. Welcome all to another TRSB Sports podcast. Myself, Shaney B. Pleasure to have on this evening Tysie Gallagher, professional boxer with a 3-0 record. How are you doing, Tysie?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. I think you mentioned that you're in the car because you just come out of training, hard training session.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was, yeah. So just finished.
Cool. So normally what I do, like I said, to most boxers and people that are into sport, normally have like a little bit of a warm up before you get into any sort of like sporting activity. So I do the same with like the interview. So I just throw in a few warm up questions just to get you going. So what is it? Rich tea or digestive for dunking in tea?
Rich tea all day long.
Rich tea all day long. This is a question I have to ask now because we had Connor Walker on here, and he's like a boxer, and I said to him, so what is it to be, jam donut or custard donut? And he was like, massive deliberation. I was thinking, surely there's just one answer, but since that point I have to ask that question now to all boxers. So what is it, jam donut or custard donut?
Jam. It's got to be jam.
Got to be jam all day long.
I do
definitely.
love a custard donut though. I do love one, but
it's exactly what
talking food. You're talking food when I'm making weight.
Yeah, and you know what? And the last question is going to be food as well, but it's the last one.
Go on, so I love it.
Is it Kentucky or a cheeky Nando's?
Cheeky Nando's. It's got to be cheeky Nando's.
Definitely
yeah.
Cheeky Nando's. So that's the warm up. So in relation to the boxing, obviously you're what, 23, 24 now?
Yeah, 23.
23, but you've been boxing a long time for a 23-year-old. So what's that, since 10 or 11?
Yeah, I first stepped foot in a boxing gym at 10, and then I had my first fight at 11.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been in it a long time now.
So how did that start then? How does it start where you've got like a 10-year-old girl? It's not the normal thing, is it? Like you're like the 10-year-old girl thinks, you know what, I'm going to go boxing. How did it start? What happened? Well,
I was well sporty anyway, so I was always like up for trying like different sports and I was playing football, and then I was quite a crazy, energetic kid, and I was diagnosed with ADHD, and my mum, like, to channel that energy, my mum, like, obviously it was clear that sports channeled my energy quite well. But my mum took me down to the local boxing, the community centre. There's a boxing class, and just to give it a go. I weren't really fussed about boxing. I just thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then when I gave it a go, from the first session, I just fell in love with it and never looked back really. And then that's how my journey started.
So it's so you're a young person, young girl, obviously, like in the boxing, going into gyms. Obviously, I would have thought it'd probably been a little bit daunting going to gym. I can't imagine that would have been a lot of girls in and around the gym at the same time, or am I wrong? Was there a few around there?
No, yeah, you're right. It was daunting. But I was quite a confident kid, which helped me like just go in and just do it. Like I wasn't one of them to shy away kind of thing. But no, yeah, I was the only girl. I always kind of was the only girl in gym. Even now, I'm like always the only. Like there's only a couple girls here and there you see in the boxing gym. But no, yeah, it was daunting, and it weren't very great because the gym that I went to, like they were good. They taught me to box, but they didn't really like girls boxing either.
Right.
Back then. So when it come to like I wanted to fight, they weren't really like happy to put me forward to fight or get me carded up and stuff. So I then had to go to another gym. And when I went to the other gym, they didn't allow girls in the gym either.
Right.
So and then I eventually did find another gym in Luton, the Academy Luton, and yeah, they took me in with open arms, and that's where my journey properly started. Like they got me competing and stuff like that. So it has been. It was daunting going into gyms, but you soon in boxing gyms, especially in the amateurs, like everyone becomes a big family. So you soon get over that and like you feel like you belong, and that was nice in that local gym we all just got on like family, and we spent more time together than we did with our own friends and family. So it was nice.
And I guess you're getting like, as a young person in the gym, I guess you're getting sort of like a lot of feedback from those around you, and you're getting support sort of whilst learning boxing. People are willing to help you, I'm guessing. I'm understanding, obviously, I understand, obviously they wasn't to try and push you forward to fights and everything, they might not have been doing that, but was you getting an overall feeling that you was getting like backed and supported in the gym still?
Yeah, definitely. And especially because I was the only girl, like it would make people, like I would stand out a little bit. Not stand out, but like people would be like, people are shocked to see girls in the gym back then. Even like, yeah, they were shocked to see a girl. So to see a girl actually doing all right and like, oh, she actually knows what she's doing. It did bring a bit of attention to me, and which was nice, because you'd leave the session feeling like, I can do this, even though I am the only girl in the gym, I can do it. And they all backed me and supported me all the way. So yeah, it was nice.
And I'm guessing then, obviously, if you're probably the only girl at that point, I guess you're at that point, you're probably fighting with fellas, and aren't you? You're fighting with lads. You ain't fighting with girls, then, are you?
Yeah, for the first like probably 4 years, I didn't spar any girls. It was just all the lads in the gym. And like other gyms, it was just the lads that I was sparring. It wasn't until I got a bit older and started traveling quite far up north or into London more to find the girls for me to spar. So yeah, I was used to just sparring the boys all the time.
I'm guessing that was probably like a similar issue for other girl fighters in different areas. I'm guessing they're probably going through the same sort of thing as you. If they were finding a gym or something, it would probably difficult to find sort of other girls their age to fight, and no doubt the same thing for them. There's having to fight fellas and boys as well. You think that put you like in? It's not. I don't know how to say it. It's not like it toughens you up because, or does it? Do you feel like? Do you give it a bit extra?
Yeah, 100%. It definitely toughens you up. And like, not only toughens you up physically, but mentally, it put me in like nothing could really phase me. Like from what I'm going and putting myself through and doing. Like I was confident in my own skin. Like compared to say like other 12-year-old girls, I could go anywhere and I could feel comfortable in any situation. And I probably wouldn't be like that if I wasn't doing what I was doing in the gym, sparring lads, going to all these gyms, sparring other lads. Like it was, yeah, so it makes you a much tougher person, definitely.
And it sounds like it almost gives you, it's like quite a confidence booster as well for you. Like I say, if you're feeling like you're boxing, I think, and then you're going out and you're feeling confident in yourself, I guess it gives you that kind of confidence. Going into school, so like you're the 12-year-old or 11-year-old, and what was that? Do you mean how many people were people like talking to you like, yeah, bloody hell, Tysie, she's a boxer, hold on. Do you mean, don't get the wrong side of her, she might knock you out? Or do you mean, what was it like? Do you mean being a boxing at school? Because it couldn't have been a lot of you as well.
No, yeah, no, I wasn't. I was never one to like fight or box at school or nothing. But I was, I don't know, like people. I wasn't ever really one to like go in and tell everyone either that I was boxing or if I was having fights and stuff. The only people that would know is like my close friends that would come and support me. But it wasn't until I started like winning championships and stuff, and I'd get like the teachers would find out because I'd be in the papers and stuff like that. But other than that, I kept it real quiet. Not even like purposely kept it quiet. I just never really spoke about myself like that. Like I just used to go to school every night. I'd be in the gym training, and then I'd have obviously fights. But yeah, it wasn't a thing where it was like hot topic or anything because until I started winning championships, because I just kept it. You would never know that that's what I was doing, really.
You're going under the radar.
Yeah, pretty much. So I didn't really like, even now, like I don't really like to talk about myself. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird one. I don't talk about myself. Like it'll be my friends being like, she's a professional boxer sort of thing. I'm like, all right, shush. I don't like the attention. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad thing. It just sounds like, it sounds pretty much like you get on with it, you do the job, and you just concentrate on what you're doing. It almost sounds like there's no need for you to sort of like blow any trumpets or horns. You just do what you do, and you sort of make the other people make noises for you. But like you say, 13 is probably when people were maybe beginning to hear of what you was doing, because you won your ABA title age 13 or something.
Yeah, I won the ABAs. I must have been about 13 because it was the juniors, I think. So yeah, it was probably was 13.
And was that something you expected to sort of go on and achieve, or like did you just go in and think, well, I backed myself to do all right? And did you realise you could go all the way at that age?
Do you know what? Like in anything I've always done in life, like I go in it with I'm gonna win. Like, or say when I was playing football, it was like I'd start the season and I'd say I'm gonna be top goal scorer, say, and I'd go and get it. Like I never would just participate or do something just to do it. I do something to be the best or to win, and that's just been my mentality forever. And I don't know how I've got that or when it come, but so I go into when I started boxing, it was like, yeah, I've just started boxing, and then it was quickly like, I want to fight though, and then when it was championships, it was I want to win the championship. So yeah, like as soon as I went into the championships, the mindset was just winning it. Like there's nothing like, oh, I'll just give it my best shot or whatever happens. I've never been like that with anything in life. So yeah, definitely, I would have gone into it with a vision to win.
So it sounds like you've got like a lot of drive and determination. Off the back of that ABAs, did I read or hear somewhere that opens up the door for like trials for the GB team and stuff like that? Did you develop like that?
Yeah. So that gave me the opportunity to I got invited up to Sheffield for an England camp, and then from there I was kind of like my foot was in the door with the England team, so which was good, and I was being invited back there quite a lot. And then I went on trials, and I got into the England team. So I was up in Sheffield quite a lot training. Like for a 13-year-old, I was going probably like once a month for the weekend. You finish school, go straight to Sheffield on the Friday, come back for the Sunday night, back to school. Like it was wicked. It literally opened my eye, and doing that at an early age opened my eyes. And when I'd come back, I was like I'd always say to my parents, like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is the life. That them 3 days that I've spent alone with like other boxers made me want to. That's what I want to do. So yeah, from an early age.
Is that kind of then sort of like make it real? That's sort of like, I mean, that's going from like young sort of youth amateur, and then almost that's going into like, in a way, it's like going into a professional setup. Although it's amateurs, it must feel like in your eyes at an early age, that's like, this is like some big professional setup. And I suppose that's what gives you the desire to really sort of kick on then, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because back then, that was all around the time when it was like Anthony Joshua, Nicola Adams, Tasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, all of them were like fighting in the Olympics and stuff. So, and that's where they trained, and you'd see it all happening. And it's like unreal. Like you can't believe that you're actually training alongside these Olympians, and it just gives me the drive massively to just keep going forward. Yeah.
Were they like role models? You sort of like Nicola Adams, your Jonas, your Savannah Marshalls.
Yeah, definitely. They were definitely my role models, especially back then, because like you say, it was a bit odd for people to see women in gyms and boxing, and when you can see they're actually doing things and they're going to the Olympics, they're actually achieving things. It makes it a bit more like realistic in your vision, like that you can do it. So yeah.
I suppose they're like trailblazers, really, aren't they, for like women boxing? And obviously you've also got Katie Taylor. But after that, then sort of like the GB team. So was it that did you fight in different countries, or was you based in England? Did you represent England? How did that work?
Yeah, so I boxed a couple times abroad, and trained for I trained for the Tri Nations. I can't remember what year it was now, but something happened, and like a couple of weeks before, and I didn't actually get to fight for them. But yeah, I've represented England. I also represented like my club, my local club as well. We've done a few tours and travelled around out of the UK. So I've done my fair share of
traveling as well.
Traveling abroad and boxing, yeah.
So then, you're 15, 16, you're still winning titles. You picked up another title. That was a NABC title. So what's that? Is that National Amateur Boxing Championships or something?
Yeah, that's another national association one, yeah. So, yeah, that was, what was that? I think that was just before the elites, I'm sure. Or the youths, sorry. Yeah, that I got that. That was I come off of a good win there for that title. And yeah, I kind at that time of my career, I got into a good little rhythm actually, and I was loving it, and I was really finding myself and finding my feet with it all, which was good. Put me in good stead.
So how many amateurs was it? And can you remember what the last amateur fight it was you had?
I think I had around 30 amateur fights, so still not even that much to be fair. But obviously with there wasn't many girls around. I think there's so much more now, pros and amateurs, girls. But yeah, I had around 30 fights, and my last fight was I just come back from having a baby, and I was being told like quite often, like, you ain't gonna box again, you ain't gonna box again. But in whatever I have inside me, I was like, I'm gonna prove everyone I'm gonna box again, and I just forced myself back into the ring. Bit too soon, wasn't conditioned properly, and yeah, just went straight in for the kill on my last amateur fight. But and then that was literally a few weeks just before lockdown.
Okay.
Happened. So and then we went into lockdown, and then didn't really know what I was going to do, didn't know how long lockdown would be. So, and then I wanted to get back into the gym, and the gyms were shut and whatnot. So I just made a decision to come venture down to London and see what the Pug gym was saying with Tony Pill. And there we had, like, I didn't even plan on going pro, but ended up taking a new route.
So it was like 2018 or something. Obviously, that was when you had your little girl Macy. So obviously,
yeah,
that's like a big thing in anyone's life. Do you mean, let alone a mum and boxer's life? So you've obviously got little Macy. You obviously have to deal with Macy, bring Macy up, then come back into pro boxing. Obviously, got a young girl now. She must be what, 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're working. You said earlier on you go into some of the schools and you help with boxing lessons. So how do you sort of like deal with looking after the little one, training for the gym, doing your other work? How does that work out?
It's very hard, but I've kind of got into like a routine of it all now. Like, if you was to tell me a few years ago that this would be my life, I'd be like, how the hell would I be able to do all of that? But because I've just been put in this situation, I've just dealt with it, and just like it's just take it in my stride. So I have a very, very busy life. I'm constantly on the go, but I'm just organized, and I've got a good routine of just work, obviously being a mum and boxing. So I've got a good little routine, and I've got a good family and like good partner. So it all just works quite smoothly.
Yeah, so you've got plenty of support around you to help you with like your aspirations. I think you mentioned just then about going into London and Pub Gym and Tony Pill. So how did that come about? Like you say, you was looking around for gyms. I'm guessing you probably know coaches and people saying, well, have a look at this gym and that gym. Is that how it worked out?
No, do you know what? I wasn't even really looking around at gyms. What happened, I was, so my friend Frankie Story, we used to box together and we went to school together, and he turned pro and he started coming down to this gym, and I knew a couple people like training out of the gym, and it wasn't even I wasn't even bothered about looking for like for me to turn over. It was just somewhere to go to train basically, because no gyms were open. So I've just come down, and my first session, gave it a go, met Tony in the gym, and just looking to train, just to looking to see what's what. And then straight away I just got a really good vibe from it, and I just felt like that first session back was like, yes, I'm back. Like I've missed it so much. And then I just started like coming down a few times a week. And then a couple of weeks in, me and Tony had a chat, and like he said like his honest opinion on what he think I could achieve and how we can get there, and asked what my thoughts were, and my thoughts were like, I never even had a second thought. I was like, I want this. Like I got from the first session, I had the fire in my belly back, and I just knew that with the amateurs, didn't know how long it was going to be, but I need to reach my potential, because when I was on the verge of reaching my potential in the amateurs, I fell pregnant. So and then it kind of like took me back a few steps. And I couldn't just leave it on that. I know that what my potential is, and I know I can achieve great things. So, once I felt the fire in my belly in the first few weeks of training with Tony, I was like, and we gelled really well, which was really important to me. We gelled really well. We worked so well together, and yeah, it's the best decision I've ever made, really.
So it's a good chemistry between the two. I mean, like you said earlier, like you don't go in to do things by half measures. Like if you're going into like ABAs or titles, you're going in to win things. And I guess it's the same. You're going into the pros not to like just participate or like make the numbers up. I'm guessing your plan is to go and get a title and become a world champion. It's got to be the aim, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously I'm on the journey now, and we're, as a team with Tony and a few others, like we're on this journey to make the right steps at the right time and fulfill my potential, because like you say, I'm not just here to participate. I'm here to prove to myself that I am capable and that I will achieve it, and go all the way.
So obviously I had Liz Barker on the show. Obviously she's in your camp. She's speaking like really highly of you. She thinks that you can definitely go places. And then I've seen interviews with Tony Pill also, who's got like high expectations for you, which must be quite good for confidence when these people are saying things around you. You obviously turned pro. You took the first fight against Vanessa Caballero, put her down in the second round. You won the fight. Going in as a pro, your first fight, it must have felt like awesome. But to put someone down on the floor, that must have been a good feeling, surely.
Yeah, no, it was a good feeling. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what? Like, yeah, no, it was that whole day, that whole week, and everything was just unreal. Like, I'll never forget my debut. But no, yeah, I started how I mean to go on, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I watched the second fight of yours against Gemma Rugg, and she was like she was a 1-0. So that was a good fight, and it seemed like she was a quite a come forward fighter. She was like trying to put it on you all the time, but it almost looked like it was like a perfect kind of fight for you. The way your style is off the back foot, it seemed you enjoyed the fact that she was like coming onto you, and you was able to still dictate it the way the fight wanted to go. Is that your style? Is that what you like?
Yeah, like I like to try and mix it up a bit, but I knew that I could let her come forward, kind of thing, and I just move and punch at the same. But I was quite comfortable doing it. I didn't feel like under any pressure or anything. So it worked for that fight. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I wouldn't have said, even though she was she was a come forward fighter, I would have said it looked like a classy kind of outing from yourself, because it looked like, do you mean, you know, if you got someone who's sort of like a bit on top, they're rushing. It was almost like you could see a difference between the two fighters. You could see like there was a lot of pedigree in your background, and I think Gemma, she was quite sort of, might have been like a white collar fighter turned pro. You could see a definite difference between the two styles. And even though she was a come forward fight, it definitely looked like it was quite classy and quite slick from yourself. It looked like you enjoyed to be able to sort of control that kind of fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're right. It was an enjoyable performance, to be fair. So yeah, it was a good fight. She's really tough. She was really, really tough. So I knew she was gonna come and bring it, and that's exactly what she did do. But yeah, no, I was quite comfortable just boxing on the back foot on that fight.
Yeah, and I suppose there's possible people that can crumble under that kind of pressure. And I think that was the thing that was good to watch from yourself. It was at no point did it look like, do you mean, oh, what's going on? It looked like there was just like a game plan from the off, which it executed without sort of like breaking a sweat. So that was a good fight to watch. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the fight.
Yeah.
And then the second fight, I think it's almost like you said, it's like you're going in steps. You're having to go the right direction and go the right route. And obviously, Tony is managing this route for you. Because then the second fight that you had against Claudia Ferrancini, that one,
yeah.
it was almost a role reversal in fight style. It was like, right, Tysie's got to go out and put it on top and put the combinations together. Was that kind of the plan? Is this right? We're setting sort of a plan in action, and we've got to see you in different environments to see what you can do. Is that what that was?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so obviously Tony knows I can box on the back foot quite comfortably. I've got very good movement, but and then also, let's see how I am going forward. The debut, that was, let's see, like that was a tough debut, because she brought the pressure, and it was like, yeah, I can deal with the pressure, I can deal with fighting on the back foot, and it was like, okay, let's see how I am being aggressive going forward. And yeah, we had a plan and I executed it very well. So that's the main thing for me, really. Like, as long as I'm listening to Tony and he's happy with me, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning the fight. But I'm winning whilst listening to every bit of instruction that I've been getting told, and that's the main thing for me. Like, and obviously Tony's made up for me when I do that, because I'm actually listening, I'm coachable, and there's like so much room to progress because I'm actually taking it all in and listening to all the instructions under pressure, which is good.
I suppose that's what it's all about at the minute. It's about progression. So obviously you've got your next fight coming up at the Watford Leisure Centre on the 21st of May. I do know who you've got coming up for that, because I did have a quick look at BoxRec. It's a girl called Jamilia Valos. Again, I'm guessing with some of these fighters, you don't get much preparation or much background history on them. Some of these fights, is it like you go in blind and you have to work them out on the day?
Yeah, pretty much. With my debut and Gemma Rueg second fight, I didn't really know much, didn't see much, but obviously with the last fight, I'd seen a bit because she's boxed everyone.
Yeah,
I've seen her. Yeah, so she was experienced. So she's boxed a lot of the girls from England. So I've seen a couple of her fights, so I kind of knew a little bit about her. But then yeah, this one, don't really know much, to be fair. Don't know anything at all. I just know that she's gonna come. She's game, and she's gonna come and come forward, and bring the heat. So yeah, it's exciting.
So when are we thinking about potential eliminator fights? How where do you want to be 12 months from now, 18 months from now? Do you want to have, you and Tony have put a plan together where you're thinking, right, 18 months time, I should have fought X amount of fights and I should be knocking on the door?
Yeah, so with like in terms of titles and that, like I'm gonna be that's the route I'm gonna be fighting for titles, but I'm not in a massive rush. I'm 23. I personally just want to get as much experience as I can. Like I want to be from now until this time next year. I want to have had 6, 7 fights. Like I want to be busy, and I just get so much experience. And if titles come, because obviously in women's and girls boxing, titles come quicker than how men get them. So like, if they come along the process between now and next year, then fine. And if it's the right fight, if it's the right title, then yeah, we'll definitely go for it. But I'm not in no rush right now. But saying that, I know things can just happen real quick, and as long as I'm preparing myself to be ready for any of them moments, because I'm happy to take any of them moments as and when they come. So yeah, I'm not really putting a time frame on a title, because it can just happen. Even at the end of the year, there could be a title that I could fight for, and which we have spoke about. So if the opportunity comes, then I'm just making sure from now, well, since I had my debut going through, that I'm ready for them experiences. But yeah, the main thing for me, I just want to be busy. Like I've only had 3 fights, so I'd be happy to, between now and this time next year, have 10 fights.
Right.
That's the plan for me.
And to be
Yeah,
honest,
just become a seasoned pro, have all different styles to fight, and have a big arsenal of styles that I can bring out in any fight with any opponent. And that's the main thing. As long as I'm going forward and progressing, then I'll be happy.
yeah, to be honest, if you're talking like 10 fights, that kind of time, you could have already been 13 fights by then. And like you said, in women's boxing, women are picking up titles after 7 fights and everything. Obviously, you're super bantamweight at the minute. Obviously, I think the weight below bantamweight, there's sort of like a lot of action at that weight.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was thinking it might be too far ahead. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, but I'm thinking an Ebony Bridges type fighter is against you. I think Ebony Bridges is your cup of tea. I think you're made for that kind of fighter.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to be honest, if any opportunity come at bantamweight, I would take it. I can make bantamweight. I work closely with my nutritionist Paul, and he says I would make it easy. So any opportunity that comes, super bantam and bantamweight, I would take. Yeah, 100%. And like you say, like the likes of Ebony Bridges, it's an exciting weight category, because there's a lot of competition coming through in my weight. And yeah, they're the type of fights that I'd like to be in, to be honest with you. So
cool. So if anyone's wanting to obviously get to the Watford Leisure Centre for the upcoming fight, the 21st of May, how can we get the tickets? What do we need to do to get the tickets? Who do we approach?
Yeah, so anyone wanting tickets, can contact me directly on my Instagram. It's at Tysie Gallagher. So yeah, just drop me a message. This is Saturday, 21st of May, my 4th fight, and it's at Watford Leisure Centre.
Cool. Anyone you'd like to thank so far for the support that you've been given? Anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I want to shout out Tony Pill. Obviously, he's the boss of it all, the trainer, the brains. Reese Cooper and Scott Hills, they're my strength and conditioning coaches. They're from Hills Physical Development. They sponsor me. And who else do I want to? I always forget. Just like my friends, family, and everyone who's bought a ticket. It's like massive. Like when you're starting out and you've got to sell tickets, that's probably the hardest bit of it all. And so everyone who's been buying tickets and supporting me, you don't understand, it goes a long way, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you buying tickets. The show would not go on. So yeah, big thank you to everyone.
Yeah, we'll definitely go along and get those tickets. But as I say, the fights I've seen of yours so far have been fantastic fights. So like, definitely something to go and watch. Definitely potential to go and see a future world champion early doors. You might as well go get the tickets in and have a look. So again, just like the warm up at the beginning, have a little warm down. Just so you warm down, relax.
Oh, can I quickly just say thank you as well to Lonsdale. They're backing me. So yeah, I'm sponsored by Lonsdale. So a big thank you to them, or else they're a massive part of the journey. So it's good.
Definitely big up Lonsdale then. So
yeah,
the warm down is again, it's a food one. I know you're having to cut weight, so it's a bit bad that I'm talking food again, but custard
it's
cream.
I actually speak about food all the time now. I'm dieting. It's all I talk about.
Okay then. So custard creams or chocolate bourbons?
Custard creams.
Custard creams. I don't know about that. Chocolate
bourbons
are nice. Galaxy Smooth or Dairy Milk?
Oh, dairy milk. Dairy milk.
Dairy Milk. Chinese or Indian?
Chinese.
And what's your favourite
Bit of
Chinese?
everything.
Yeah. What's your favourite Chinese dish?
Oh, okay. So if I was to order right now, it'll have to be egg fried rice, chicken ball, sweet and sour chicken balls, beef and black bean sauce, bit of chicken chow mein, curry sauce, and salt and pepper chips.
Do you know what? I would almost match you for everything, but I would have added some chili beef in there, some dry chili beef in there, crispy beef. That would have went in there as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? On that note, I'm going to say it was a pleasure having you on this evening. And
thank you very much.
You enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to catching up with you in the future, yeah?
I will do. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Take care.
Pleasure speaking to you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.